Succession returns. What will we watch when it's over? This question has come up lately whenever I encounter a fellow fan of Succession, which begins its fourth and final season tomorrow. We confess to anticipatory grief, pre-missing the despicable, irresistible Roy family. Only 10 episodes to go. I wonder if this intensity of emotion isn't only about our love of the show's storytelling. The 2 years between the end of Season 2, October 2019, and the beginning of Season 3, October 2021, coincided roughly with the first 2 years of the pandemic, when we felt the absence of our pop cultural security blankets acutely. The beginning of a new Succession season feels like an exhalation, a reprieve. The show as event, as cultural phenomenon, a mixture of actual audience enthusiasm and marketing hype, is a curious thing. You can buckle up and go for the ride, marking premiere dates on your calendar, setting the DVR or planning a viewing party, dissecting each episode on group texts, or you can, thanks to iron will or just not caring about the show at hand, sit it out. When you've opted out, the fuss seems amusing but trifling. I skipped the ongoing event that was Game of Thrones and was unmoved by the distant din of "can you believe this person vanquished / slept with / slayed that person / dragon?" That followed every episode. There was comfort in being indifferent, in conserving my curiosity and energy. When you're all in, it's a different story. I'm basking now in the electricity that crackles between me and a fellow Succession enthusiast when we discuss our predictions for the new season. I love reminding people that the premiere is this weekend and hearing their sighs of relief, of finally I'm a completist, hoovering up all the profiles and behind-the-scenes gossip and podcast interviews. I recommend this video of the 10 things the actor Jeremy Strong can't live without from GQ and Hunter Harris's on-location dispatch from Tuscany before last season. From New York Magazine. Of course there will be other good shows to watch. Couples Therapy, a very good show that's not what you think if you think it must be cheesy or tawdry as I did before getting totally engrossed, returns on April 28th even if many of the offerings on hand seem like thin broth compared with the nutrient-dense stew of Succession. We'll find something else to feast on before long. Mourning a show's imminent end is a bittersweet element of being a fan, as nourishing as preseason excitement and post-episode rehashing. And if the prospect of saying goodbye forever seems too painful, there's always this. In a recent interview with The New Yorker, the Succession creator Jesse Armstrong kept hope alive. I have caveated the end of the show. When I've talked to some of my collaborators, like maybe there's another part of this world we could come back to, if there was an appetite. He said, maybe there's something else that could be done, that harnessed what's been good about the way we've worked on this. And quote. A spin-off? A reunion? A one-off holiday special someday in the future? A fan can dream. Yellowjackets, Sunday, the first season of this series, which jumped back and forth in time between a team of female high school soccer players whose plane crash lands in the Canadian wilderness and their traumatized, present-day selves, was a minor sensation. That was partly for its stellar cast, Melanie Lynskey, Juliette Lewis, and Christina Ricci, among others, partly for its 90s nostalgia on Overdrive soundtrack, and partly because it was creepy as hell. Season 2 starts this weekend on Showtime. Crying in H Mart, Tuesday, Michelle Zauner, the lead singer of the band Japanese Breakfast, is now probably as well known for this critically acclaimed memoir, out in paperback after 2 years riding the bestseller list, as she is for her music. As David Marquez wrote, H Mart is about food and memory, the confusion that can come with biracial identity, Zauner's fraught relationship with her hyper-demanding Korean mother, and then her grief at losing her mother to cancer. There's no better way to conjure spring at mealtime than by piling green things on your plate or with this soup, in a pot. This is the moment each year in which I go wild with asparagus, kale, peas, dill, anything that banishes the blasé gray of a New York winter. K-Chun's fast spring soup does this brilliantly, with the thrilling addition of fresh ginger. Interior design mushrooms are becoming a sought-after motif in decorating. Warming planet. More Americans are uprooting their lives for safer climates. What you get for $250,000: a Craftsman bungalow in Kaukauna, Wisconsin, a row house in Philadelphia, or a mid-century ranch house in Florence. Allah. Cost calculator. Where is it cheaper to build than to buy? The Hunt A couple wanted to swap their home in Pennsylvania for a California rental. Which one did they choose? Play our game. Borealis Festival. Listen to live music in a pool by a fjord in Norway. Hotel stays. Daily room cleaning is on the way out. Heart to bot. Trying to have a tough conversation? Consult ChatGPT. Night anxiety. Give yourself a caffeine cutoff to avoid racing thoughts. Luxury gyms where exercise requires an approval process, and monthly fees of up to $2,750. It's prime spring cleaning season, which can be as daunting as it is inspiring. I recently finished some house projects, and my garage looked as if a tornado had swept through it. The solution was simple: storage containers. In Wirecutter's guide, our experts tossed 32 bins downstairs, left them to soak in rain, and stuffed them full to find the best ones. I used a mix of the Iris Weathertight totes and HDX Tough storage totes, but our guide includes additional options to manage your mess. Daniela Gorney for step-by-step advice on how to keep everything in your home squeaky clean. Sign up for Wirecutter's Clean Everything newsletter. March Madness by Monday evening. Both the men's and women's NCAA basketball tournaments will be down to their final 4 teams. The UConn women's team, which had struggled this season with injuries, is back at full strength and looks capable of winning it all. UConn plays Ohio State today, 4 p.m. Eastern on ABC. On the men's side, Florida Atlantic, a small school in Boca Raton that had never won a tournament game before this year, plays Kansas State tonight for a spot in the semifinals, 6 p.m. on TBS. The pangram from yesterday's spelling bee was mythology. Here is today's puzzle. Take the news quiz to see how well you follow this week's headlines. Here's today's Wordle. Thanks for spending part of your weekend with the Times. Melissa Lauren Hard, Lauren Jackson, Claire Moses, Ian Prasad Philbrick, Tom Wright Persani and Ashley Wu contributed to The Morning. You can reach the team at themorningnewyorktimes.com. Sign up here to get this newsletter in your inbox.